Hi guys, so here we go for the first video of 2017. I kind of wanted to make a video explaining a little bit what things would perhaps change or what things I would like to do in 2017 in relation to my channel but also in my life. But I thought that I would start with another video because I'm not quite sure yet what my goals or what my resolutions are for this year. But I would talk about the best books that I read in 2016. So I didn't read that many books because I've been so busy with the internship and writing a dissertation and then working and then writing a second dissertation and doing 2 master degrees. Anyway, because of all of that, I couldn't read that much, but I still managed to find time to read about 55 books, I think. And I picked 6 books that I particularly enjoyed or that I found very interesting and that I wanted to share with you a little bit more. So the first one I picked is this one. It's called The Blind Beast by Edogawa Rampo. Edogawa Rampo was a writer of the 20th century and he wrote about mysterious crime, whodunit sort of things, but with a very Japanese touch, which is called the eroguro, which stands for erotic and grotesque. So basically a lot of his stories have very sexual and very grotesque and very morbid and very bloody and disturbing sort of atmosphere to them, which is something I particularly enjoyed apparently. And this one was amazing. I very much enjoyed this one. It's basically the story of a blind man who, because of the fact that he cannot see anything, has developed a very strong sense of touching and feeling, and he likes to touch and feel women, and he obviously likes to murder them as well. It's like so imaginative and so disturbing yet so sensual. I really enjoyed it. And the second book that I picked is by another Japanese author. It's called Confessions of a Mask by Yukio Mishima, and I read this book recently, so I haven't had the time to make a recent reads about it. Amazing. Like, honestly, one of the best books I've read in my entire life, I think. And I've read many books in my life. This book is all about, it's like another biography, and it's all about a young boy trying to figure out his identity and his sexual orientation and his desires and everything around that. And how could I say that? It's like, it's so true, and I've rarely found books that talk about that with such accuracy, such detail, such, where everything feels right. Obviously it's a topic that's different for everyone and will resonate differently for everyone, but personally for me, I just really enjoyed it, and I found that it was one of the best books written on the matter. It might be kind of disturbing at times because the things that arouse or that the young boy or then the young man finds attractive are perhaps not conventionally attractive and are kind of like morbid as well, but it's beautiful. What really kind of like did it for me was as well the fact that there's a very interesting but not very much developed kind of like interrogation on sexual attraction, like romantic orientation rather, and sexual orientation. Obviously, it's still a concept that so many people do not really know about, the fact that romantic orientation and sexual orientation do not have to be the same. And so at that time, in that society, it was completely unknown, yet the struggle really is obvious in the pages. So honestly, no matter what you usually read, no matter if you're a big reader or no matter if you like Japanese literature, no matter if you're gay, straight, bi, asexual, whatever, I think everyone would benefit from reading this, and it's beautiful. And I picked this one, which is the Encyclopedia of the Dead by Danilo Kish, and this book was perhaps, of all the books that I picked, the most challenging to read because there are a lot of references to other stuff. It's very complex at times, very esoteric at times, very historical at times, and it's a collection of short stories. It's the book that we read in my book club, so if you're not part of my book club, you should. Very unusual, very unique in the themes and also the approach and the style. So it was definitely one of the most interesting books I've read this year, and there were a few gems in it that really moved me and that I found super, super beautiful. So I picked this one up, but this one I would recommend only if you like reading and if you're used to reading things that are not super easy to read and get into at first. And The Kingdom of God is Within You, which I have in French, but written by Leo Tolstoy. So basically this year I read a lot of things by Tolstoy that were not fiction, and as much as I enjoy the fiction that Tolstoy writes, because he's an amazing writer, I think he's very, I think the fact that his non-fiction work is underrated and under-analyzed and studied is a shame, because that's probably where you can get to know him the best, in very explicit ways, and where his philosophy is most and best explained. I do enjoy everything that's related to religion, and I do enjoy everything that's related to Christian or Catholic anarchism, so that's kind of all mixed in, and it's really great, especially if you like Tolstoy but you have only read fiction. I would strongly advise you to read things that are not fiction. Then Salammbô by Flaubert. So this one is for those of you who like classics, who like aesthetics, and who like books that are not meant to, what would I say, books that are meant to be a pleasure, like something that's so beautifully written, something that's so aesthetically researched, and just like a piece of jewelry, basically. If you're someone who likes to read, a non-fiction, or someone who likes to read fiction but that's centered around a very serious matter, or a political or a sociological whatever topic, this is not for you. But if you like classics, if you like history, if you like books that are aesthetically pleasing, that's amazing. There were pages and pages of description that sometimes get a bit too much, but at the same time it's such a wonderful exercise of writing and style, and just wonderful. I really enjoyed that. So Flaubert never ceases to amaze and surprise me and impress me, and I know I said I would do a video on Flaubert. It's on its way to you guys. The last book that I wanted to talk about again is Woman at Point Zero by Nawal El-Saadawi. I talked about it in my recent reads. If you haven't watched it, you should go and watch it, but if you haven't, and if you don't want to go watch it, it's basically kind of like an autobiography. I mean, it's not an autobiography. It's a woman, Nawal El-Saadawi, who meets another woman, and she writes a story that this woman tells her, which is the story of the woman. But it's written at the first person, so it feels like an autobiography. And it's a real story. In which extent, what parts have been slightly modified, we don't know, but it's a real story. And it's very interesting for two different things. It's interesting from a feminist point of view, and from a social point of view. If you're interested in the condition of women in the world, if you're interested in the Middle East and especially Egypt, if you're interested in sex workers, if you're interested in family related challenges and questions and problems. And it's interesting because it's just wonderfully written. I really enjoy the way it was written, even though it's a contemporary book, which I'm not usually a big fan of. I found that there were some narrative little things that were especially interesting and well found and well used. So it was a great book that I would highly recommend to anyone. Those were the best books that I read in 2016, but there were other books that I read that were really amazing, and if you want to know more about that, I have a series? I have a few videos that are called Recent Reads, and I have a Goodreads account, and I have a book club. So if you like what you see and you feel like you want to read things that are similar, join the book club, guys. This month we are reading two things. I mean, you have the choice between two things. You have the choice between Petersburg, written by Andrei Belli, I think, and you have Send Quick, something like that, by Tanizaki. Yeah, links are going to be down below. If not, just add me on Goodreads and then we'll figure it out. I hope you have a wonderful beginning of 2017, guys, and I'll see you very soon with a video about resolution and that kind of stuff that we really all enjoy at the beginning of each year. Yeah, thank you for watching this video, guys, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye!